Netflix has a new kid on the block, and it's called The Watcher. As ominous as it sounds, the new mystery/thriller is the streaming platform's newest hit, and everyone's talking about its twisted ending. So, shall we also dig into what the fuss is all about? In this video, we'll talk about what Naomi Watts thinks about The Watcher's ending, and what shows you can watch if you like the series. First up, actress Naomi Watts talks about the indictment of the American dream. 'Tis the season of killer documentaries and stalkers. After Dahmer's success comes The Watcher, which will make you want to curl up until the last scene. A seemingly normal family moves into their dream house in what looks like regular suburbia, but everything changes when the family starts to receive threatening letters. Well, we would definitely skip that kind of house, but American people aren't easily creeped out, even by moving furniture. The Ryan Murphy series takes place in the midst of pure anxiety, fear, and illusion. Everything looked too good to be true anyway, but after moving into the New Jersey mansion, it has been nothing but nightmare after nightmare. The Watcher star Naomi Watts shares the idea that the finale was definitely an indictment of the American dream that people chase endlessly so that they can show off what they possess. The final exchange between the couple is sort of dark. Nora knows that Dean is lying about the job interview as she's in the car behind him. It all boils down to the fact that the couple thought the house would fix everything, but it only widens the cracks in their failing marriage. Watts adds that the couple is just trying to figure out what is that other thing besides the house that's killing their relationship. Naomi Watts thinks that it's a vicious cycle in which people go too far with such entitlement, and they no longer fear being relevant anymore because the dream is everything. Watts was reluctant to share her thoughts about the show's loose ends, but that means season 2, right? But wait, it's a mini-series. Up next, what the hell went down in The Watcher's season finale? Everyone's been searching for the same thing since The Watcher landed on Netflix. The ending explained. Yes, The Watcher had a shocking ending, and we have a lot of questions, especially about Theodora claiming that she's the Watcher. In the finale, it is revealed that she's a private investigator hired by the couple, has been hospitalized for cancer, and that she was the one who sent them threatening letters. She fabricates that she lived there, but she later discovers that her deceased husband has hidden $1 million in that property. So she penned out things for the Braddocks to vacate the house. Later, in a double dark twist, it turns out that Theodora never lived in that house, and that she claimed to be the Watcher just to give the couple some closure. She never found out who the real assailants were. After Theodora, the suspicion falls to Karen, who actually moves into 657 Boulevard after the Braddocks, but she has a far worse fate than the family. Only in 48 hours, she is chased out of her house, and her dog is killed too, proving that she wasn't the one tormenting the previous family. So is Dean Braddock the Watcher? No, because even though he is mysteriously looking at the new family that moved in, he hasn't done anything scary or stalker-ish. The only explanation left is that The Watcher's ending is not that simple. Since it's loosely based on a real-life unsolved case, it's understandable that Murphy didn't want to actively reveal the villain at the end. Nobody knows who's the Watcher, and the fear of living not knowing who your next door neighbor is what the series was trying to convey all along. Following that, here are 8 shows to watch if you liked The Watcher. Sad that The Watcher ended too soon? Well, grab your popcorn, because the following 8 shows will definitely keep you hooked to the screens. The Patient. Fans of psychological thrillers line up, because you're going to have a field day with this one. The Patient is co-created by Joseph Weisberg and Joel Fields, and it follows the anxious-filled story of a gloomy psychotherapist, Alan Strauss, who has just been widowed and is simply trying to cope with the aftermath. The Patient and The Watcher are similar in terms of the gravity they have in that dark character that ties everything together. Alan is about to have the most difficult time of his life when he finds out that one of his patients, Sam, is a serial killer. To control, or rather feel guilt-free, Sam somewhat takes Alan hostage and seeks help from him, the shrink next door. Shrinks are big these days in thrillers, right? Cause it's all the mind games with this one. The Shrink Next Door is a miniseries with a stellar cast, consisting of names like Casey Wilson, Paul Rudd, and Will Ferrell. Just like The Watcher, this miniseries is also inspired by true events in which a therapist first positively turns around a person's life and then takes over it. Sounds creepy, right? Marty forms a very codependent relationship with his therapist, which then renders his world upside down. Every character in this series has something to hide, and that's the thrill, people. Blackbird. Blackbird is a highly rated Apple Plus series that's also based on a true story. It's tormenting how these 6 stories actually happened. Anyway, the series follows Jimmy Kean, who cuts a deal with the FBI after he has been sentenced to 10 years in a minimum security prison without parole. But the deal is more absurd because he agrees to enter a maximum security facility for the criminally insane in order to befriend Larry Hall, a suspected serial killer. And that's what leads the viewers to chew their nails, because Kean needs to push out a confession from him so the missing bodies can be found. But the question is, who is really guilty? Echoes. Another Netflix original series, Echoes, may not be too similar to The Watcher, but it expertly captures the essence of that oblivion we all are in, which is, we just really don't know the people around us. The story is about identical twins, Gina and Lenny, who are living a life full of secrets. The sisters come up with a scheme. As kids, they'd swap their identities, which ends up giving them double lives in adulthood as well. Everything was going perfectly well until one of the sisters went missing, and their world is torn to shreds. Echoes are somewhat the opposite of what's going on in The Watcher, The Girl in the Mirror. Full of twists and turns, The Girl in the Mirror is a great follow-up thriller/mystery after The Watcher, in which a girl is left with nothing but a giant question mark on her life. Alma survived a horrible bus crash in which most of her classmates were killed, but after coming to, Alma is unable to remember anything from her past. But that's not even the weirdest part. Alma feels that the people she's living with and the house she's in don't really belong to her. They feel strange. Now, we all know where that would lead, because remember Secret Obsession? It's more or less like that. The Outsider. One of the better adaptations of Stephen King's work, HBO brings to life the titular writer's 2018 novel in the form of a psychological thriller drama series. The Outsider is chilling, right to the bone, as an investigation into a little boy's gruesome murder gets linked to a mysterious supernatural force. Compared to The Watcher, the neighbors in The Outsider actually turn against a Little League coach who is accused of killing that very same boy. The answers in this show are never straightforward, and you'd be guessing till the end about the real killer, Candy. Unfortunately, American history is filled with seemingly calm and innocent people committing the most heinous of crimes. Candy is a perfect example of you never know who is capable of what. Played by Jessica Biel, who is almost unrecognizable as Candy, the original series is based on true events, which will definitely give you goosebumps. Candy Montgomery looks like a typical 1980s housewife who does everything right. But what happens when that average housewife looks for an escape? Just like The Watcher, you can never really predict what's gonna happen. You. Everyone knows You and why it's on the list. That's because it beautifully captures the stalkerish behavior of a stranger who gets obsessed with someone or something. You is a complete roller coaster ride where most of the audience would be rooting for the bad guy. It follows the same theme: never trust anyone, and people aren't what they seem. Joe may look like a nobody, but his mind is pretty much in sync with that of a serial killer. Joe believes that everything he does is for love, even if he leaves a trail of dead bodies. Master of disguise and manipulation, You is a perfect watch for people who want to root for the couple, but also love a crime mystery. That's a wrap for this video. Which of these shows are you going to watch next? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.